The war has been raging for months now. Our feet are tired, our clothes sodden and muddied, and our hearts hardened against the relentlessness of war. We have learnt much, but still there are those soldiers, either drunk on self-confidence or so racked with fear that they forget their training, abandon their team and become more useless than a stiffened male member in a room full of lesbians. But worry not, for I am here, with experience and a desire to ignite the fires of camaraderie, to bring out the best and to obliterate the worst. I'm DRBC 007 and I'm bringing you a special Battlefield Bootcamp officer training pro tips. The good, the bad, and the downright fugly. Today I want to focus on a few fantastic pointers, and no, I did not ask for your advice. If and when that day comes, you will give it to me, I will accept it, but right now I am recording! Today I want to focus on a few fantastic pointers that will help you to continue your march to glory. Some things that even us veterans do that bring more shame to our families than a Chinese child who admits to his mother that he hates maths, and something that is so heinously offensive to any soldier that it should be locked away in the chambers of nightmares, never to be uttered by the lips of any mortal man. Number 1. The good. 1.1. Horse go bye-bye. The cavalry can be devastating in the right hands, annoying in another set of sweaty palms, and merely a distraction in a novice's. But whether or not you focus on the horse or the man, it can cause significant damage to you and your squad. To make quick work of those pesky equestrians, assault class needed. Follow their route, let them charge you, drop a stick of dynamite, my personal favourite, and say goodbye to man and beast quicker than a vegan's eyes judge when you pull out a ham sandwich. It's just ham. Ham! 1.2. Auto-fire field gun. Field guns are often bizarrely neglected, however this should not be the case. If you think that they are too slow to reload and their power is lacking, think again. Jump into a field gun, fire its devastating payload, begin the reload animation and jump straight out. You can then click to resume control and the field gun is voila, reloaded and ready to go. This gives a faster rate of fire and much more survivability. 1.3. Field of view. This is a pro tip and each person will want to play with it, but adjusting the field of view in the settings is an incredibly effective option. You must go to options and then video settings and you will find it there. It basically translates into the amount you can see on your left and right. The higher you go, the more you can see either side of you, but targets become smaller at longer distances, and the lower you go, the less you see either side of you, and the closer your enemies will feel, making the targets much bigger. Now this comes down to personal preference, like when choosing a mate for a sweaty night of debauchery, but I would suggest not going above 85 to 90 horizontal, and I would not venture lower than the default settings. Again, it's personal preference here, but I would say that the extra peripheral vision that you get from a wider field of view is much more beneficial than the bigger targets from a lower field of view. Plus, low fields of view can induce some motion sickness. So don't say I didn't warn you when you release your half-digested cornflakes to the world! Number 2. The bad. 2.1. Stop going for Freddy. Too often during a conquest match, some team members will think the best thing to do would be to hop a ticket on a nearest bomber, perhaps get a vehicle, then speed off into the sunset all the way to the other side of the map to try and capture a point behind enemy lines. This, however, is more often than not a stupid and incredibly irritating thing to do, so stop it. A few outcomes can happen. You die. So that was pointless. You waste your time trying to capture the point and then you die. Perhaps some squad mates charge with you, then you all die. Meanwhile, the enemy are capping point after point and solidifying their grip on the map. It is much better to take points in order, especially if you don't have the strongest of teams. This way you have your soldiers fighting together instead of splitting up your whole team, fighting from two weaker positions. 2.2. Hero to zero. We all love medics that revive. In fact, I love them so much I often dream of starting a cult where I was the leader and every person I married into the family was a medic with a syringe full of life and we would bask in our glory forever and ever and ever. I digress. Medics that do their job should be cherished, but don't get over-eager to please me, for you can quickly slide from the greatest of heroes to the worst of zeros. Running blindly to revive a fallen comrade is not the best solution if you die, and so does he seconds after you revive him. In operations or rush, this is especially important with limited tickets, and instead of gaining one more soldier, you actually give the enemy 2 more kills. By all means, continue to revive. Do not stop, but use your brain first, then your nimble surgeon-like fingers. Number 3. The downright fugly. This particular category is reserved for the worst of the worst, those people that occupy the recesses and crags of human dignity, clinging to the corners of obscurity, these tempestuous abominations, drug-fueled delinquents of vile depravity that need no elucidation. The medic that does not even when standing close by, or runs towards your flailing corpse and does not revive! Nothing induces fits of rage, thrown controllers, smash TV screens, ruin friendships, or creates lifelong nemesis than the medic that does not revive. Months into this bloody war, and still those feeble-minded fools that hold the power of life in their hands are too dumbfounded to use it, and should be shamed into oblivion. If you own a syringe, for the love of Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and all of the saints, use it! This is the last time I shall mention this, for Karma's hammer swings so low this night, and it is ready to cleave and maim those that are deserved of its might. Alas, that is all I can muster for today, but the battle will rage on, with or without you. But know this, a lion roars but once before he charges. Be that lion. Use what I have given you to outwit your enemies, kill your opponents, bring life to those less fortunate, and gain the respect a true hero deserves from his admiring and soon-to-be loyal, loving, and lifelong friends. I expect to see you back for more, but first, get out there and make me proud, soldier. Finally, before you leave, if you found this video enlightening or entertaining, please do consider leaving a comment, sharing this educational material with your fellow soldiers, and perhaps also leave a thumbs up. That would be splendid. Everything you say and do helps make these videos far better, even though I doubt that's possible. Anywho, go forth, share the wealth of my knowledge with those less fortunate than yourself, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. For more profound nonsense, tips, tricks, and all things Battlefield 1, I'm DRBC 007, signing off.